Okay, we're back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. I run my routers upstairs, so I have like power line, and sometimes my power line is just like I'm
Mhm.
not going to work. Like, oh, cool, because you're supposed to work, but it's cool if you don't want to. Okay, fight's over. Let's turn on the healing war chant. Hopefully we can get a few hit points back. Yeah, so it's I think they call it the War Chant of Sith. Let me take a look. The War Chant of Sith. They all get +2 to armor class, plus 10% resistance to slashing, piercing, crushing, and missile damage, and 2 hit points per round. So not too shabby. I'd play that in Pathfinder even. It's pretty good.
Do you have a favorite class in Pathfinder?
Um, I've only played like 2 characters in Pathfinder because I'm usually the dungeon master. Um,
Hmm.
I'm really enjoying cleric so far. It's been a lot of fun. And I was an alchemist for like 1 session, and like the idea of the alchemist was pretty cool. So it's hard for me to say like which what is my favorite. Like I've made some cool builds as NPCs and as bad guys. Um, so I kind of want like I have an itch to just play a fighter. To be honest, I just want to see what playing a fighter is like. How about you? Do you have any favorites other than cleric?
My cleric is definitely up there as my favorite class. I've been lucky enough because my player Brad does he does run games so that we don't have to record everything. We get to play some fun games.
Yeah.
So we played Tyrant's Grasp and then stopped that because it's just brutal. It is the most brutal campaign they've ever released.
Oh, really?
But I was playing the yeah, it's disgusting.
Like
But I played
the
a false
content is
priest of
disgusting.
Aridin.
Oh, okay.
As in, well, it's just brutally overpowered.
Oh, okay.
Everything is at least 2 CR higher than what you are. I would probably have balanced that. He didn't because he's a by the book kind of person. It
Yeah.
just meant we lost so many party members.
Yeah, I understand that feeling because, like, I know with Kingmaker, with our campaign right now, Connor's getting, like, frustrated because, like, we've been breezing through every combat. He's like, I don't understand. And, like, me and Liam had to explain, like, how the CR ratings work. It's like, we're CR4 right now, so the CR4 encounters shouldn't be that hard. And he's like, oh, that makes so much sense. It's like, if it was
Yeah,
CR5 or 6, then yes, we're struggling, but most of these are supposed to be just like breezy encounters for us. But if you want to up the level, go right ahead. But it means that he's got to do some more brewing than he's used to.
yeah. But I did play a great class in that. I played the false priest sorcerer archetype.
I've heard
Um,
that.
yeah, so I played a priest of Aridin, convinced that Aridin wasn't dead.
That's so cool.
And the best part was I managed to convince all of my party that I was just a cleric that just chose the same spells every day.
Yeah.
Um, and they didn't know until literally after I died, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I wasn't a cleric. I was a sorcerer." They were like, "What?" um,
That's fantastic.
but I'm currently playing in Rise of the Rune Lords because I never finished it with my other group.
Yeah.
So we're up to we're just finishing book 3 now, and I'm actually playing a Hell Knight. So
Nice.
I've got what is it? 5 levels in fighter because you need that before you can go
Yeah.
to and Hell Knight anyway. And then yeah, and then 5 levels in Hell Knight.
I wish
And that's quite fun. It's quite interesting.
I wish that when I was playing Curse of the Crimson Throne, um, that I used Hell Knights more because they do show up in like book 1, and they're kind of like mentioned here and there. But like knowing what I know now, I wish I had used them more. Like I don't know. There's a big part of me that kind of wants to go back and rerun Curse of the Crimson Throne with everything I've learned since running it the first time. I feel like I could do such a better job of the story and fleshing out the story more and adding my own bits to it. Like, but at the same time, I also want to play new stuff. It's such a hard. Like, there's not enough time in the day, like between kids and work and friends. Like the people I want to play with are they also have their own stuff. Like I can't just make them play Dungeons and Dragons with me every night as much as I want to. So it's tough.
Yeah, that is the eternal struggle, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Yeah, like I feel like a part of me could play games every night, but like my wife wouldn't like that and probably divorce me pretty quick.
Yeah, my partner definitely would not enjoy that. Like tonight, tonight my time.
Yeah.
So early tomorrow your time, I will be playing my Rise of the Runelords campaign and be playing Maledicta Eberix, the Hell Knight of the Order of the Nail.
That's amazing. Right, they have multiple orders, right? Like across Golarion, right?
Yeah. The Order of the Nail will be the ones you would run into in Curse of the Crimson Throne because they have their citadel just about
south
20 miles south of Korvosa. And they're also the ones that protect frontier settlements. They're the ones most likely to be adventurers, realistically, because most of the other ones are like very specifically focused around cities.
Because they're not like evil, right? They're just like kind of evil.
Most of them, like generally, they're just lawful. Like
right,
all three types of lawful.
Okay.
Some of them are more evil than others. I play lawful neutral, but because the thing is, they worship just the five, depending on which order it is. Like, there's the Order of the Godclaw that worships the five lawful gods: Torag, Iomedae, Abadar, Asmodeus, and one other one that I can't think of right now. But yeah, so Asmodeus is in there because of his lawfulness, not because of his evilness.
Okay, yeah.
But because of, like, it's all about law. So yeah, they pretty much take the good evil out of everything, and they're just like, law.
Yeah, which can come off as evil sometimes, like uncaring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because one of the things they talk about, it's like, just because a king is skimming off the top doesn't make him evil if he's doing it within the words of the law.
Yeah.
But if he's doing it outside of the words of the law, then they'll kill him. So there's that weird balance. It's like...
Yeah.
So that's why it's fun, because my rest of my party are playing chaotic assholes.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever they mention anything like stealing or anything, he's like, what? They're like, oh, no, not that. We mean...
I think a lot of players, if they've played a few games, they've always come across like that lawful character you have to dance around and pretend like you're not doing this. It's like, no, we're not killing people. We're just taking the other room and we're leaving them there. We ran into that too, because like in my current campaign that I'm running, in my Galericon campaign, each of the characters, I told them, like, one of you has to be good, one has to be neutral, one has to be evil. So like the neutral and the evil guy like will team up sometimes to do like bad things, and they'll like hide it from the good guy, and it's just a lot of fun to watch them to like try to do that. It's like, no, it's okay. We're just gonna take this guy in the other room. It's fine. And they take him in the other room and kill him, and hopefully the good guy doesn't find out. But it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's the best thing about being like full lawful. It's like things like that don't necessarily matter if it's done for like the greater good, like or the good of law. So like my character is the first one to be like, oh, they're a monster. Yeah, they're against civilization. They're trying to destroy it. We'll kill them. And the character people are like, wait, no, stop. We can get no, he's dead.
Yeah,
I've already killed him.
I'm sorry. He's a monster. You can't suffer a monster.
Troll.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, yeah, that's the best part about the Hell Knights. They all have their own tenets, and one of the Order of the Nail is you become the face of fear for all monsters.
That's so
like, they
cool.
should see your face in fear.
That's really cool.
So I think I have the list of... Where is it? Yeah, I've got the list of, like, Hell Knight things somewhere.
So, I just want to talk about my favorite bit of Golarion lore. I think it's Galt. It's like it's the city, the country that's based off of the French Revolution. So they have guillotines there. They have like magical guillotines. I think they're called soul blades. So they
from the Grey Wardens have them.
Do Grey Wardens have them as well, or
the Grey Wardens, I believe, have their guillotine.
So yeah, it's guillotines that harvest, like, that hold people's souls, so they can't go off the afterlife. And my favorite part is that one of them was lost and found by like a frost giant who has turned it into a giant cleaver, and that's the coolest thing in the world. That there's just like this soul guillotine blade being wielded by a frost giant. Like, whoever thought of this is just should get some sort of award. This is fantastic.
Oh yeah. Oh, the final blades. That's
yeah,
it.
that's what they're called, the final blades. You're right. Oh, I'm out of real arrows.
Yeah.
Oh, this is upsetting. I forgot to stock up back at town with like real arrows. So like I have to use like magical arrows against these guys or axes, and I was like, I don't know what to do here. Maybe I should go back to town. Oh, you know what? There's a shop here that I might be able to. Maybe they sell arrows. I doubt it though.
Yeah, I just found the guillotine you're talking about. Sorry,
Yeah.
the blade that got turned into. That is amazing.
Yeah,
Jorngal's Harm.
yeah,
With Vorpal Great Axe. That is brutal.
yeah. Isn't that the coolest thing ever?
That's amazing.
There's I forget which god she answers to, but there's like a herald for a god. She was like a rebel fighter in Galt, who died and became like a herald or avatar or whatever for a god, and she's trying to destroy all the final blades to free all the souls. So she's trying to get Pharasma, one of Pharasma's heralds, to help her. So like I plan on like weaving that into my Galericon lore at some point. I'm really excited.
Courage Heart.
Yeah, Courage Heart. Right, because they don't know her name.
Milani's herald. Yeah.
So, which god?
Milani?
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's the one. I think Courage Heart's the coolest.
The Everbloom. Yeah. She is awesome.
Ugh. These mushrooms are so upsetting. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
See, one of the things that I've seen in Pathfinder, and it's so obscure that almost no one's ever heard of it, is it's part of what's the consortium's name? The Lumber Consortium?
I haven't heard of them.
Aspis, the Aspis Consortium.
Okay.
So they're the ones, like, they're the antithesis of all things Pathfinder Society.
Okay. That's cool.
So generally, like, you've got the Shadow Log, obviously, in most of the Pathfinder scenarios. But you've also got this other section of the Aspis Consortium called Conspiracy Z or something, Conspiracy X.
Okay.
And it's like this and it's only touched on very, very lightly in most things. But there is like one small, but essentially the whole thing is they're trying to discover like how to become immortal and travel between worlds. Like they're the high-powered part of the Aspis Consortium that no one knows about.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite things is that Paizo does I know in like Faerun and stuff they have this too, but there's a lot of like really cool groups running around that do crazy things. Whereas in in Faerun, a lot of those groups are like crazily overpowered, and like if you play them the way they're written, they actually ruin the game almost. Like I've read a few articles about how like the Elminster problem of Faerun, where like you have all these groups like that are like so powerful the way they're described that like they really would take away any agency that any player group really has. Paizo has a lot of those similar things like the Red Mantis, the Hell Knights. They do a really good job of like grounding them more. It feels like giving them like, okay, these guys are only level 12. Like the highest guy is level 13 or whatever. It really grounds it. Even like Razmir, it's like this guy's level 19. Like he's not undefeatable. Like, and the rest of his group isn't crazy godlike powers. So it really grounds it more and makes it so that like you can interact with these groups in meaningful ways. Whereas like the Harpers are the way they're described.
Okay.
It's like they're unbeatable, really.
Yeah. I just found it. It's Conference Z.
Conference Z.
That's what it's called. Yeah, it's a small. It's essentially the think tank of the Aspis Consortium
Okay.
that the leadership don't even know about. Like that's basically what it says. It's like
Yeah.
the leadership of the Aspis Consortium doesn't know about this occult research division of the Aspis Consortium, and that's why I kind of like it. It kind of touches on some like conspiracy-esque kind of things, and also brings in some of those occult classes and stuff like that, which is quite fun. I haven't played any of them, but right now we have Jonty in our group is playing a Mesmerist, which is quite interesting and very different to any other class from general Pathfinder, which I quite like.
Sorry, which classes do they play?
So Jonty from in our podcast is actually playing a Mesmerist.
Oh, wow.
So
I've
one of
never
the
played with
occult
one
classes. Before. No, neither have I. But it's quite interesting, like, because it's such a. It's like it's focused on charisma, and it's focused like he's playing like the visor archetype, so he's all about pulling the strings from behind the scenes.
Oh, cool!
And he can make it look like other people are casting his spells.
Oh, really?
So he just looks weak. Yeah, so he can make it look like the monk is casting a spell.
Oh, cool!
Even though he's the one casting it. He just throws this illusion up that makes her look like she's doing all of the things. So it's quite interesting because it's all about like subversion and messing with people's minds. And all of his spells are mental spells. They're suck or save, which sucks for him because I'm quite good at my save rolls. But...
Suck or save can be very frustrating as a player. But at the same time, like, I've gotten a lot of, as a player, I've gotten a lot of really lucky hold persons that have really like saved our butt. Like, and it's really frustrated Connor because he's like, I can't believe you just did that. I'm like, at the same time, I know I did this and it ruined your combat, but like that guy had to fail like 2 or 3 saves to die. So, I mean, you just suck at rolling. I'm sorry. It's like you had a few opportunities to escape from it. So it's okay that I killed him in 1 hit. Yeah, hold.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the same when I'm the DM. Like I don't mind if I fail them because at the end of the day, I probably passed more than I failed.
Yeah. And like that's the thing as a player, when you play spells like that, you have to like try like look at the bad guy and be like, okay, is he gonna pass this? Like, what are my chances? And like most of the time, you know that like they have a good chance of passing it. It's just a long shot. And then sometimes that long shot pays off, and then you get some cool moments. But
yeah, I can always roll a 1.
Yeah. There are other times where, like, yeah, I feel like this guy's can't pass this save to save them, and they don't, and it works out really well for your group. You gotta really know your enemies.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is awful. Oh right, I turned AI off. That'll do it. Burning Hands works out a lot. It's really nice. So that I did find the shopkeeper that I wanted, but he does magical spells, so I don't have any arrows right now. Oh, good. She's confused, so she doesn't need arrows anyways. Amazing. Oh, she's berserk. Cool. He's berserk too. Yeah, this is a fun game. These mushrooms are not fun. I got charmed the last time I was playing. It was so hard to like decide what I would do in the combat on each of my turns because like charm is not like, oh, I turn against the enemy. It's like I'm friends with that thing now. It's like, what would my character do as a friend to try to help out this situation? It's
yeah.
I think I did a good job of it. I think I didn't. I think I did a good job of it. I hope I did. But it was a fun fight. It was like there was like some lumberjacks cutting down some Fey Wild forest, and a Nixie, like a water pixie, came and charmed a couple of their guys, and we tried to help out, and then I stupidly told her my name. Connor tricked me. He's very good at tricking me. He tricked Eric. So I was like, did you say your name? It's like, yeah, I would have probably said my name. I'm like, oh no, you've tricked me. So she charmed me, and then our buddy like jumped in the water and was able to grapple her. So I was like, I tried casting command on him and stuff like that to be like non-lethal. I think it turned out well. But it's always a tough call.
Have you played any of the what is it, Wrath of the Righteous video game or anything?
No, I don't play many video games. I play this. I play Icewind Dale. I play Minecraft. I've usually like been behind people technology wise for the last like 15 years. I feel like my computers are never like good enough to play new stuff, and then I just like I don't prioritize video games really. So like as I said, I play Minecraft. Like that's about it.
Yeah, I'm much the same. I only really play Minecraft. All of my players have like really nice, really high spec computers that play the newest thing in the world. I have a 2011 iMac.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like in order to stream, I have to borrow one of Connor's like hand-me-down computers. Like that's what I'm running the stream off of. But my computer is just like this like old laptop that can barely run Hero Lab to be a DM with. So.
My players are going to, or one of my players, he bought early access and everything for Wrath of the Righteous. So he's going to go through and start streaming and create all of the characters we had during the playthrough so that they can go through and see what happens after book 3.5.
That's a good idea. I like that. So in that one, do you play as a party, not as a single person?
Yeah, so there's also the Kingmaker one that came out first.
Yeah.
That's been out for a couple of years now. So you play... I think you might need mods to choose your own party, but you can build your own party as you go kind of thing. There's a lot of pre-built NPCs that you can choose from, but you also get to always make your own character based off different classes. And it's pretty true to the Pathfinder rule set, or as true as it can be.
I've just walked into like, this is like one of the hardest fights in the game in my opinion. It's really well set up. Like ahead of me is kind of like that bridge that Gandalf fights the Balrog on almost. So it's like a bridge, and then there's like archers on all sides of the bridge. I just like don't have the energy to do this fight tonight. Just like, ugh. Oh, I'm poisoned? Is this antidote or what? Good. Gotta be careful when you're fighting spiders, apparently. Okay. Yeah, Balgra's gonna die. Poor Balgra. You fool. You fool of a took.
Fool of a took.
I was really lucky when those movies came out. Like, as I said, like we were playing Lord of the Rings RPG, and they just felt like they came out for me. It was a really amazing time in my life. Jeez.
Yeah, that came out like the year I started high school.
Yeah, so we're probably like roughly the same age, because what year was it? 2000 the first one came out?
2001.
So that was my second year of high school. So I started playing Lord of the Rings game in my first year. Then they came out in the second. Yeah, so I the game I had like a one book for it basically. So I had like a Mirkwood book. So we like just ran all around Mirkwood doing crazy things all over that enchanted forest.
I think they're looking at releasing an updated version of Adventures in Middle-earth.
The Merps?
I vaguely remember seeing something.
Yeah, it was
no, it's its own rule set now.
Oh, okay. Because Merps came out in like the early 80s, I think. So it was Middle-earth role-playing game. And then they came out with Lord of the Rings adventure game, which was like the dumbed down rules of Merps. The idea was that you would advance from it to MERP. I never did because I was too lazy, and I couldn't find the rule books for it because like it was printed in the '80s and I was playing 2000. Plus, I was like a kid that had no resources, right? So I just kind of played with what I could. There was like a random gaming store in my area that had like in their back catalog had a few of the books for it, and I would just like sneak them and save up my money and buy them. So it was a lot of fun, good times, fond memories of that. But yeah, it ended up being like I have a Moria book and a Mirkwood book. So it's really cool. The Moria one, the art in it's fantastic. But at the time I didn't understand how they had set it up. I kept wanting like whole maps of Moria, but they kind of just gave you like small locations, like a gate room or this type of room. And I didn't understand that you were supposed to make up the map yourself, kind of have it kind of random. And like I feel like high school me could never have run that, but like me now, it's such a cool rule set that I might even like pull it into my own campaign one day, because like it does work to help you build your own Moria, your own dungeon. You can use it for really anything, and it's such a cool way to go where it's just kind of like random. Like, okay, now you found this type of room. Now you found this type of room. So it's more harkens back to like the old style of dungeon crawls that like Gygax used to design.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that they just finished a Kickstarter not too long ago, actually, in early June, I believe, for the One Ring.
Oh, okay.
Which is an updated version, a second edition version, basically, of the One Ring role-playing game. Mm-hmm. But then before that, Cubicle 7, which is part of Fantasy Flight, I believe, released Adventures in Middle-earth that was compatible with 5th edition, and a lot of really, really good source books, though, which is fun. Yeah, because I've always wanted to play a game in there, but I've always struggled with the idea of playing a game in the Lord of the Rings universe.
I mean, I get that. In such a world that people have such an idea about, and having so much like screen time in that world can make it hard. Even me, because like I grew up reading The Hobbit. Like this is my first copy of The Hobbit. It was the movie book. So I made my mom read it to me when I was 4 years old, because like it had amazing pictures like this. So
the cartoon, yeah.
So I thought it was a kid's book. I didn't understand that it was a novel. So I grew up having The Hobbit read to me. So like, there's like a reverence you have for the world where you feel like you can't mess with things.
Yeah.
And like I talk about this a lot in my Galericon episodes. Like that's why I've named it Galericon and not Galarian, because now I feel like it's my world. I can change things as much as I want, and it doesn't matter. Like that's why like I think I would have a hard time running that Magnamar actual play that you did, because it's like it's already history. It's already happened. That's why it would never have crossed my mind to do an adventure like that, or a series of episodes like that. Oh, my guys are getting tired. It's just, but you gotta kind of like set that aside and realize that like there's also like the idea of when I was younger, I used to have an idea that there was like an invisible referee judging me for like the bad mistakes I would make as a DM, and kind of had to get past it and realize like there is no invisible referee. Like you can play however you want in your house. Like you can do whatever you want, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big thing I had to get past too. Fear of failing, fear of not being good enough, and I was just like,
yes.
At the end of the day, I can be. I am. It doesn't matter if I'm not good enough. I'm not like the people that are streaming videos and got hundreds of thousands of views. As long as I'm having fun, as long as my players having fun, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're all having a good time, like that's the key to it. Yeah, as long as everyone's having a fun time, like that's all that matters. And as long as they want to keep coming back for more, and then you're doing the right thing. So I don't really want to retreat from here, but I have to go sleep. Ugh. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go sleep. Well, Liam, it's 9:30. Well, my time is 9:30. Your time is what, like tomorrow?
11:30 in the morning. Yep.
Well, you go enjoy your
future.
lunch. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. It was a lot of fun getting to know you, getting to know the
More than
Hobble
welcome.
Goblin podcast. I can't wait to dive into more of your back catalog. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
All good. Hope you enjoy the rest of episode 50.
Yeah.
And
I just want to throw it out there. It was really funny to me that I said, like, what's one episode I should listen to? And you're like, you should listen to 3. Just like, all right, I'll do 3. I can do 3.
well, it's the same episode.
Sure. No. I enjoyed it. I got a good laugh out of that. It was good. All right. Well, thank you so much. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. This is a lot of fun to get to know you.
Definitely. Awesome. Thanks, Eric.
Well, how do I work my computer again? I forget. 1 second. All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.